Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of May 27th. I'm Terri Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Holecko.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today is Thursday, which means it's time to give into our obsessing about parenting details big and small. Today's obsession is concerts and kids going to concerts. So somewhat inspired by the fact that my son works for the big football stadium in town, and there was a concert there featuring a group called BTS that I had never heard of before, and now everywhere I turn, I see news about them, and people are mentioning them without me even saying anything. So apparently they're a bit of a thing, a Korean pop group, and this was the first, I guess they have a very young audience, because this is the first time when I went to drop my son off for work that one of the parking lots was completely devoted to parents dropping their kids off. They had a line, you got in the line, you pulled up to a space, you dumped your kids, you drove off. And then at the end, when we went to pick him up, he was getting off early, so we were picking him up while the concert was still going on. And they had whole parking lots devoted to parents sitting in their cars waiting for their kids. So apparently they didn't sell much parking for this concert, so they worked up this entire infrastructure to accommodate parents who were dropping off their preteens to see this concert.
Wow.
Now, they're dropping their kids off at 3:30 for a 7:30 concert. Or I think the drop-off line opened at 9:30 for a 7:30 concert. What are these kids doing all day?
9:30 a.m.?
The drop-off line opened at 9:30 a.m. I don't know who was there, but I'm betting there were kids.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Would you drop your kid off in a parking lot for 12 hours?
No.
But it was just really fun waiting for my son to come out to just see all these parents kind of sitting in their car, waiting for their kids to come out of the concert. There were a couple of dads standing up by a fence, kind of looking in the direction, talking to each other. There's, relationships springing up here amongst parents, just sitting. Because when we picked him up, it was like 2 hours before the concert was over. So there were parents sitting in that parking lot for like 3 hours, listening to the roar coming from this stadium, knowing that their child was one small
voice,
nano element of that roar, and wondering what the heck is it going to be like to get out of this place once the concert is over.
Oh,
it's going to be a disaster. So, shout out to the parents sitting in MetLife Stadium, listening to that concert from afar and imagining the traffic heartache that lay ahead of them, but still there, supporting their kids, letting their kids go, scream at 20-somethings.
Wow.
But, so we thought we would talk about what your kid's first concert was. And, what'd you think about all this? Have you guys heard of BTS? Is this a thing where you are too?
I've heard of it only as a, pop culture phenomenon. I'm not sure if I've ever heard any of their songs. They were on Saturday Night Live recently.
Yeah. I don't remember if I was ever a kid who would scream at something like that. I think
my daughter is a tiny bit too old for them.
Yes.
And my son, is a boy and doesn't care. So
that's right. But lots of girls care. So, Catherine, you said your daughter is wanting to go to a concert?
Yes, she feels very wronged that she has reached the age of 17 without actually ever going to a concert. So she does have tickets for Lollapalooza this summer. Why don't we just jump right in the deep end?
Yeah, I was going to say, she doesn't want to start her concert first.
No, but, as of right now, a friend's mom is going to be that parking lot person of taking them there.
God bless.
And, that's in Chicago. That's like a 3-4 hour drive from here. So I think they're going to have to stay overnight. Like, it's a whole thing. And, it does make me a little nervous. Like, Lollapalooza, I mean, this is a huge...
Yeah, it's kind of a rough crowd, no?
Well, I guess it could be. I don't know. I mean, we've talked already a lot about how, you have to stay together at all times. And, this...
Yeah.
It's definitely different from my first concert, which was Cyndi Lauper. And it was at basically the gym of the university in our town, like the rec hall, where they had basketball games and stuff. They also had this concert. And I was 14, and basically my parents sent me with a chaperone. I went with a couple friends, but also with this woman who I think was one of my parents' grad students. So she was, younger than my parents, but older than me. So that was probably a pretty good solution for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember my first concert, but I know my daughter's first concert was going to see Aaron Carter.
Oh, yeah.
When he was a thing. And so I think I've talked about it on this podcast before, but we had lawn seating. So, we were sitting on a blanket on some grass, and she was just, even at that distance, completely freaked out by the volume. Mm-hmm. And so it was like one of the only times she ever sat on my lap and let me, kind of hug her in public because she was freaked out.
Yeah.
But so that was interesting. That was another one where you just look at all these kids being so completely gaga over this person jumping around on stage. And, she was interested in him, but not that crazy.
Right.
And then I took my son to a Miranda Cosgrove concert because he was, really into her, still has pictures of her up on his wall, which he is outgrown but doesn't want to take down.
Right.
So I took him and his buddy to that concert, and I didn't expect it to really be much, but just anything that's of interest to really young kids is just intense in a way that adult concerts really aren't so much. Mm-hmm. Just the adulation.
Right.
At such a fever pitch. There was some kid who was like a YouTube sensation. I can't even remember what his name was now, but just like a young teenage kid who was, famous from YouTube, and the girls were practically throwing their panties at him. So it's like, wow. It's always strikes me, as it did with this BTS thing, just to be so into something so young. And, my son was mostly just overwhelmed by the volume. So it's like, clearly my kids are never going to be concert goers. They're like, yeah, that was loud. Let's not do that again. So now my son is working at one, but still means he's getting paid to be there.
Now he has to go there for his job.
I really felt bad sending him back the second day because it was we were standing in the parking lot quite a distance away, and there was just this roar coming from the stadium, and it wasn't the sound of the amplified voices of the band members. Right. It was the sound of teenage girls losing their bleep. So, wow. I don't know. Have you had a concert experience with your kids? Well, I guess your son is a concert giver.
He is. Pretty much is. Concerts are one of my family's favorite pastimes. So my kids have been to many concerts over the years with my husband and I, and it's kind of like a family outing. And, so the kids were very young when we started taking them to concerts, and of course my son plays in a band, so he's so it's actually a big part of our lives. And now my daughter is at the point where she goes to concerts on her own with her friends, and they drive into LA to go to concerts. Wow. So so she'll, so it's nothing for her to get in the car with her friends and drive into LA for the evening and go to a concert and then drive home at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Isn't my favorite thing to do, is to wait up till then. But I like the fact that she, it's a positive outlet. I mean,
it's a thing to do.
It's fun. It's, I didn't go to my first concert until I was in I think it was my first concert was when I was 18, and I saw Billy Joel in Sydney, Australia. And I do remember women throwing bras.
Yeah, gosh.
And I kind of think it's a neat opportunity because we live so close to such a large area where most artists come and play. So, so it definitely is a big aspect.
Yeah.
In fact, my husband and my son are going to 2 different concerts back to back. So they're actually driving up to Bakersfield and going to one concert. And then the next morning they're driving down to LA and going to another concert and then coming home. So, yeah. So it's kind of a bonding thing for my husband and my kids as well. Because they go more than what I do, but.
Yeah. Would your kids ever get like teeny bopper obsessed over musical acts?
No.
I mean, I remember having Tiger Beat up on my wall when I was a kid, but I can't remember. Like Partridge Family, maybe.
They have their favorites, but they don't. Like one of Kristen's friends, she went through a Backstreet Boy phase. She went through a Justin Bieber phase. I mean, and her wall was plastered in these pictures.
Right.
Then she went through an Ariana Grande phase. Like, no, my kids.
There was a brief One Direction moment, but it wasn't super intense, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had to have been, when she was like 10. I mean, definitely young, like not even a teenager.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just kind of surprised me that sort of thing still occurs. But I mean, I suppose why not? It just seems like there's so many options now.
Yeah.
There's so many, music is so splintered, and anybody can go on YouTube and listen to something they've never heard before or there's celebrities coming from so many different places that it's just surprising to see one thing getting so much heat.
Right.
But I guess that's because I'm, not a 14-year-old girl anymore, so I don't get it. But it's hard for me to get that enthusiastic about anything. I mean, I'd like to go see Hamilton, but I'm not going to, go sleep out on the street for it. So
you wouldn't fangirl over it, though?
I get further and further from being able to fangirl about anything. So there was a time, I once slept out on a sidewalk overnight to get David Letterman tickets, and then I didn't even get them. And,
no.
Another time, I know I stayed up for hours and hours and hours to get Bruce Springsteen tickets, and those I did get. So there was a time in my life.
See, I haven't done that.
Very, very, very long time ago. Now it's like, I gotta go to the app every day to try to get the cheap Hamilton tickets. I don't know. This is too much. Can't I just could just say enter me every day? Can't they just have a button for that? So I'm going to be 60 in a month. So those days are gone.
That's funny. Yeah. No. I think I'm at the point now where I'm passing the torch. There are very few bands that all make the effort to go see. It's a hassle too now. It's
really
a huge hassle because, like you said, the parking and you have to be there so many hours beforehand. Yeah. It's like going to the airport.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Or a big sporting event.
Especially have you ever been to the Rose Bowl?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's not an easy place to go.
The worst. Because they make you get a bus there. Well, they don't make you, but the parking is so bad there that you get a bus from downtown Pasadena.
Oh, wow.
And you take it up to the bowl.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Hollywood Bowl, not the Rose Bowl, but yes.
Yeah. The Hollywood Bowl is just as bad.
Yeah. When I went there, they had a whole parking lot and lineup area just for all the lifts.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that at the stadium
to encourage that, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the inconvenience, and also just, I think I've talked about this before, but the cost of it just ruins stuff for me. It's like, if it costs over a certain amount, I'm never going to enjoy it enough to stop thinking about how expensive it was, and that's not fair to the thing. So I'll just stay home and watch things on my computer. It'll be fine.
On that note, it's it for today's round 4. Tune in tomorrow and we'll share our roundabout roundup of things that we have been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.